Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay. Want to figure out? Yeah. Oh, it just records over it. I see.
Control the medium. We can control the context of presentation. Well, is there anybody on the receiving end? Reaching out for some kind of connection. Come on and watch these shows away.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Do I sound sexy? All right, this is Cabin Fever episode 2.
We're coming to you pre-recorded from the Cabin Fever Studios, somewhere near San Diego State,
San Diego State.
Yeah.
Exactly. In a bungalow.
in a bungalow. It's Sunday. What's the date?
I don't know. Oh, it's
Does
the
it
10th.
matter? Yeah, it's Sunday the 10th.
I think it's been 2 weeks.
It's
since
been
we
too
did-
long, Matt. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it went so fast.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we're back at it. We're doing it again. We're still, trying to get a good system down. Trying to figure out, the whole schedule of the show and work it into our schedules, our busy schedules. So
It's not easy.
no, it's not.
That's what I realized.
Yeah.
I realized it's like such a different thing to do during the week. And,
Well-
and you want to be in a good space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be tired and lethargic. You want to be able to have a good conversation and be a little bit upbeat and bring something to the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you're just not feeling it. But then I think it's going to have to get to a point where we'll be able to work it into our schedules, and it will become like every Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever we figure out.
Yeah.
That'll be the day, and that will be the day.
Yeah,
no matter
exactly.
what, we'll have to,
Well, and if stuff's going on, we just have to bring it to the table. If you feel like it. you
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it could be a good thing because it's like, how often do you get caught up in whatever's going on, with life or in your head,
Oh.
and you just don't take a break? You don't give yourself a break. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
I mean, I do that all the time.
Oh, me too. Constantly,
Mm-hmm.
nonstop. As an introvert, that's what plagues us. Being up in our heads, getting a little lost in our own thoughts, and there's a lot of shit going on outside.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like you're constantly analyzing and you're not getting the answer, so it just keeps going round and round and round.
Want to try this out?
Yeah. So
Guess the flavors.
okay,
See if you can do that.
All right, I got-
the hookah master, Matt Whitney.
here we go. Have I had this before?
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
got
It's two new flavors. It's different flavors though. They're new
Okay.
flavors. So.
It's some mint in there. No?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. I'm terrible.
No mint. No mint.
It's different. I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it's way different. All right. Give up. Orange cream and chai tea.
Oh, chai
Just
tea.
a
That's what that
little
is.
bit of chai on top.
Yeah.
But the majority of it's orange cream,
That's good.
which I think is delicious.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that chai is good.
Yo,
Just-
oh, absolutely.
It was a little, there was a little kick of something I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's perfect for like winter,
Exa-
cold.
yeah,
It's kinda
exactly.
cold tonight.
Yeah, and that's why I got this beer.
Okay. Yeah, I was
It's
gonna ask you
perfect,
about it.
fall type of beer. It's Big Leaf Maple, Autumn Red. It's from the Anchor Brewing Co. They're based out of San Fran. And yeah, it's
Oh,
really
okay.
good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, it tastes delicious.
yeah.
And it's got kind of a different bottle. To
Mhm.
it. It's like a little mini wine bottle with like
Yeah,
a fat.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Kinda. I think if you.
Kind of reminds me of like a European style, more like a, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's delicious. So, Sean just did a master cleanse. His
I
second
did.
one.
Yeah, I
you want to
did.
talk about that? A little
Yeah,
bit?
absolutely. All right, yeah. So if you don't know what the Master Cleanse is, basically it's a fasting diet, and which consists of basically a mixture of lemon juice, grade B maple syrup, and cayenne pepper, and
And
That's
that-
all you can drink.
Okay.
That's all you can drink, and you have a certain amount you should drink every day. Usually you drink like 30 to 32 ounces for breakfast, 32 ounces for lunch, and 32 ounces for dinner. And you can obviously drink more.
But that's it. No
That's
food.
it. Yeah, no
whole
food,
foods,
nothing. No, you're not chewing anything. You're just drinking,
Uh-huh.
which is it's really difficult for the first couple of days because I mean, we're kind of our social situations surround eating food and,
Yeah.
and getting together and doing all those fun things that revolve around eating, and that's kind of like cut out of your life. And obviously your body is going through a whole detoxing stage where it's purging all these toxins supposedly in your body, because once you stop eating processed food, all these other sugars, corn syrup, all this other stuff that really affects our bodies and kind of has like a lasting stay within our system unless we like really purge it out.
Yeah.
And for the first time I did it for 10 days, and that's the recommended time to do it, to completely flush your system of all the toxins that we accrue throughout our whole everything we eat is technically really not that great for us.
Yeah. Well, so this is the second time you've done it. The first time, did you have like a last meal?
Yeah.
Going into it.
Yeah, with the Master Cleanse, you have to work your way into it. It's not. I can't just go to Taco
Cold
Bell.
turkey.
Yeah, I can't go cold turkey. You got to really work your way into it. So, for the first couple of days, you're really just eating raw foods.
Okay.
Fruits, vegetables, and then just working your way into then just making like juicing, like you'll juice for a day,
Yeah.
and you'll just juice for that whole day, and then. My last time I just had vegetable soup was my last meal,
Uh-huh.
and it was awesome
Yeah.
because I knew it's more of a mental challenge than anything, because
That's
you
what I was
have to
kinda
mentally
thinking.
prepare yourself. You are taking on the mission of not eating food, like going out of your way to not eat food and just to drink this one liquid, which gets really fucking boring.
Yeah.
And after a while, you're just like, you just get bored of making the drink, and you get bored with, I enjoy cooking. Like, I get bored. Like, you'd sit down and you'd be like, oh, I normally would start to make dinners or start thinking about what I'm going to make for dinner and then when you start doing the cleanse, you're just sitting there drinking the juice, and then you get a little stir crazy a little bit.
I bet. So
Yeah.
when it was all said and done after 10 days, I mean, obviously, like, the reward is having food again.
Yeah, the reward is having food again, and then obviously the transformation that takes place. I mean, I lost like 12 to 14 pounds, within 10 days. A lot of it's water weight, and then also that goes along with the cleanse, you have to take this laxative tea.
Oh, wow.
And drink this saltwater flush, which really fucking sucks. And you're supposed
Yeah.
to do this in the morning, and doing the saltwater flush is supposed to like move literally the crap that's built up in your system, and
It's like
your whole digestive system is just filled with microbes and all kinds
Yeah.
of craziness. And
I was going to say, do you stop pooping?
you
Like,
do.
after a while?
Yeah. If you weren't to do the
Yeah.
lax tea, you
Clean
wouldn't shit, and you'd just be
like a really
constipated, which isn't good for you.
Clean
So, yeah.
butthole?
But it's shocking on like day 5, and you're like, well, I haven't eaten anything for 5 days, and there's shit coming out of me.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like, what the fuck? Where did this
Yeah.
come
Oh,
from?
God. Who knows what that is?
Exactly. So,
Age-old gum
yeah.
from when you're a kid.
Right. Yeah. So the first time I did it, I felt like really good. Just proud of myself for the fact that I did go 10 days without eating food. Well, really, it's like 12, 13 days where you're not really eating solid foods.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a big.
That's crazy.
It's a
That's
big-
like half
yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
Almost
it's a
half
big
a month.
undertaking.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, it seemed like it flew by, like, because it was such a new thing to me, and it was a challenge. It was
Yeah.
Something that was completely out of my realm, something completely different. And in that time in my life, I was just like, fuck, I just need to do something different, and there's benefits to go along with it. And I challenged myself, and I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and felt great. We went on a hike one time, and I had plenty of energy. It wasn't like a tremendously hard hike, but you
Yeah.
know, it was still a hike and
Still
doing
exercise.
physical activity, which they do recommend you do, you know, just so you're not sitting around. Obviously, you can't work out like with weights or anything like that.
So when it was said and done, were you? I mean, was it more physically rewarding, or was it just like the mental aspect of like, wow, I just held my ground and didn't eat?
Oh, I would say both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was packing on some pounds.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I wasn't eating right, and also the good thing with the detox diet, it kind of resets you. You know, it's kind of like, do I really want to be back in this place? Do I really want to almost torture myself again without eating any food again?
Yeah.
Or obviously, you can just work out and do all this other shit. I'm
Yeah.
not going to buy a gym membership, and I'm not a big jogger, so I'm not going to
Uh-huh.
go out there jogging. I much rather prefer going on a hike or just walking or, you know, doing something like that. Or even riding a bike. If I had a bike, I'd ride my bike all the time.
Something more your style.
Yeah, something more my style. I just don't enjoy running.
Yeah. But then you did it again. So
I just did it recently, and I did it more with my friend Joe and his girlfriend are both doing it. They live up in Chico, and they were both doing it at the same time. And so, you know, I was kind of doing it with them, support. It's much easier to do it with a support system, obviously.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, they kind of bowed out a couple days beforehand. Some people, you really have to mentally prepare yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to eat. And then my buddy Joe, he's a pretty tall guy. He's like 6'3" or something like that. So he needs a lot of food intake. He
Yeah.
takes in a lot of calorie energy, and he wasn't really properly doing the diet. He like lapsed a really long time without doing the lemonade and got really lightheaded and weak, which is what you're going to do because you're not taking in any calorie energy from food.
yeah. Wow. It's like a little torturous. Well, especially him. He's an active guy.
Yeah, very active, and
Yeah.
in his job, he's a firefighter, so he does a lot of strenuous stuff, and you
Yeah.
kind of need to, you know, have your
It
have
ain't
your
for
food.
everyone.
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
for everyone.
But yeah, his girlfriend, she also did 10 days with me last time. Not with me, but we did it around the same time.
Uh-huh.
And
And she lasted.
oh yeah, she did it for 10 days.
It
And-
almost-
and Joe also tried it that time, and her roommate Elise also tried to do it that same time. But obviously, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to do.
I was gonna say, like, it's good to have a support system or like people that you're doing it with, but it seems like that would also be hard because if one person caves, you know, and then you walk in on them.
Well, yeah, they did. They kind of caved in this time, which I don't blame them. It's totally cool with me. I don't care. It's just like whatever. And then I'm like, well, I'll do it until this point because it's like I wasn't really doing it to lose weight this time, and I didn't really feel like it was a challenge. I was just bored right away. I'm like, oh yeah, this shit again.
Yeah, like you walked that path before.
Right, yeah, and then I'm like, oh fuck, a whole nother whatever 4 or 5 days of lemonade and just crushing lemons. Just wasn't appealing to me
Yeah.
anymore. And before, I also did YouTube videos, which is a lot of fun. That kind of kept me motivated, and I was trying to make them funny and entertaining somewhat. And
Yeah.
then, you know,
And they were.
Yeah. Actually, some of them are like 800 views.
No
like,
way.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I know,
That's
blew me
crazy.
away. Well, geez, some of these Master Cleanse videos, they have like thousands of hits on
Yeah.
it, and you're just like, what the fuck? This person got 1,000, like
Yeah.
thousands
even
and thousands
trying.
of hits, and it's just like some fucking weirdo, which
Yeah.
I am too. But at least I kind of put some editing and video, little music and stuff, little intros and stuff like that in there to make it somewhat entertaining. And I do get it here and there. I get like a comment and like, oh yeah, I really enjoy your videos. It's motivating me. I'm on day 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I actually was planning on doing it again, doing the videos again this time. I was going to call it Master Cleanse Season 2. But I just didn't get around to it. And I think if I was doing it, I would still be doing it now.
Did you find a website that detailed the Master Cleanse?
Yeah, when I first started looking into it, I don't know if I stumbled upon on YouTube or just Googling, different diets or something. I must have stumbled. Well, actually, when I originally heard about it was on the Howard Stern show. Robin Quivers, she did the diet, and she still does it every once in a while. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, that sounds crazy. Just drinking lemon juice and cayenne pepper. That sounds completely unhealthy and undoable. You know, but you know, as I got older, I'm like, okay, I can fucking do that. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm wondering, does it talk about like I mean, obviously it's not hazardous to your health. It's not.
Oh yeah, there's definitely people out there who talk about, oh, you shouldn't do. That's a really bad way to do a diet or a bad way
Yeah.
to lose
It's
weight.
like you're shocking your system a bit.
You are shocking your system, but the way I think about it is people have fasted for thousands and thousands of years, and they didn't have this lemonade drink.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Supposedly with the Master Cleanse, with a mixture of the lemon juice, the cayenne pepper, and obviously all the water, that is enough to sustain your body. People do this for 21 days. They do it for 40 days,
Yeah.
just drinking this lemonade juice. You know,
That's crazy.
People are living. I mean, people are a lot more resilient, I think, than what we give ourselves credit for. And people have been fasting for thousands of years. Not even on purpose have they been fasting.
Well, I was gonna say, like, fasting is like also a religious practice in lots of different cultures.
Every
and
year,
stuff like
every year, religious people fast.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember because I was raised Catholic, and then we do Lent every year.
Yeah, Lent.
We
Yeah, you
try.
give up. Try to
Give up something,
something.
and then you can't
Yeah.
eat meat on Fridays.
Fridays.
Yeah.
Eat fish.
Yeah, but I remember like sticking fast to it. You know, like, oh, can't eat meat on Fridays or I'm going to hell. So, and I just like I remember like looking at my like halfway through a sandwich, realizing it's a ham sandwich. And I was like, God, no! Oh no! Confession.
Satan's hand comes grabbing at you from the depths
Yeah.
of hell.
Like drag me to hell.
Yeah.
You had ham. No, but I mean, I think that's cool.
Would that ever be something you would ever do?
I was just trying to think. You know, like
You would really have to have a good reason, I think, for yourself to do it.
the problem with me doing it is that I mean, my job doesn't seem that active, but it really is. Like today, actually, I worked 5 hours and. I forgot to bring like a lunch because I was like, oh well, you know, it's a 5-hour shift.
Yeah.
I'll eat before and stuff. And then no, like 2 hours into it, I was just starving.
Oh yeah.
And so I was afraid of like maybe going through what Joe did and getting lightheaded at work, and I can't really snack on anything.
Right.
You know?
And you also do get a little slow. Like, I mean, you're mentally a little bit slower because you're just not all quite there.
Yeah. You're not getting that protein and the calories. and-
Exactly. And your brain
your brain.
craves these certain fats that are in foods, and I wasn't getting those.
So did your mental fortitude come back though? Like after the
Oh
first?
yeah, real quick.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's
I mean,
not
it's
so like long lasting.
well, especially this time around, like I just wasn't doing well. I don't know. Like I kind of got a little bit more sick. Started
Well,
to
you
get
didn't even
really
tell me.
congested. Yeah, I didn't really tell anybody. Like
Yeah.
before, it was like a big deal. I posted on Facebook, like I'm gonna do the Master Cleanse. Now it's
Yeah.
just like, whatever. I've done this before. I'll do it.
Well, I think that ties into some of the goals like we have for the podcast
Right.
and whatnot. Like you really do have to establish
Yeah.
a network or something or some kind of support system to really get you through those kind of challenges. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so it sounds like you felt it this time just because
Yeah, I
you were a
did.
little without it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is weird, but
It's not
No.
weird. You're human.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, you did it for your job or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this time I did lose a couple lbs, so you know, it's not bad.
So what's going to be your first meal? Or what was it?
Oh, I haven't eaten really anything solid yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had basically after the juice cleanse, you're supposed to ease into drinking fresh squeezed orange juice, and then from there you can start working yourself into like vegetable soup or something real light like a broth or something like that.
Yeah.
But I do have some salad, so I'll probably mix up a salad later and just see how that
Nice.
goes. Yeah.
Nice and easy. And then you have celebrate with your first solid poop.
Yes, I am looking forward to that.
Victory. A victory shit.
I'm gonna yell that when I'm dead.
Do you watch The League? on.
Of course I do. Hell yeah, on
yeah,
FX. FXXX.
It just reminded me of the Shiva Blast.
Yeah.
Shiva Kamini come to cry.
I can never remember that. What is it?
Shiva Kamini come to cry. I mean, that's not it exactly. But
It's as close as
Yeah.
you can get.
Shiva Kamini come to cry. That's what you should yell when you take your shit.
Yeah. So how'd you do on fantasy today?
I am tied in a league that I'm paid with.
Oh,
I am.
okay.
I am.
So you can win some money on this, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm
Maybe?
like 3-6.
Ooh.
So I'm in like 8th place.
Okay.
But the guy I played this week, who I work with, is also 3-6. So we were like joking that this week is like a toilet bowl.
Yes, exactly.
And-
Sacco. Who's going to get
Yeah.
the Sacco?
And we're neck and neck. We're like, there's literally like a point differentiate us. And
Anyone have a Monday game? I hate those Monday games.
I
You're
do.
waiting and you're like, this bitch better.
I have Vincent
perform.
Jackson playing tomorrow. And
Okay.
so he's
How's-
got it.
How is Vincent Jackson doing this
He's
season?
doing decent for
Yeah?
having like no quarterback.
Right. He's on the Bucks,
So
right?
yeah. So
Buccaneers.
I mean, they haven't won a game. So
They haven't won?
they haven't won a game yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And they play the Dolphins tomorrow, so it should be
Yeah. Should be a
Maybe.
close game.
yeah. a toilet bowl in itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just I'm in just the NFL.com. I'm in 2 leagues, and for the most part, I think out of 8 people, I think it's like it must be an 8-man league.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, an 8-man league, and I think probably half of those people actually go on and change
play,
Yeah,
yeah.
and play, which I'm like, okay, I'll take
Yeah.
the win, even though it feels weird. Like this guy has a bye, and there's like an injured, you
Yeah.
know, IA, and you're just like, okay, I'll take it.
Take it.
I'll take
Add
it.
to the streak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good in there. I think I'm pretty sure I won both games, but real fucking close because Andy Dalton shit the bed. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
was 2 weeks in a row. He's shit the bed. He hasn't. Well, actually, he finally scored a touchdown, but he threw like 3 interceptions last week, 2
Yep.
interceptions this week. I'm like, come on, bruh.
Did you? Oh, you
And I-
didn't. You
and I
probably
should
didn't watch
put-
the game today. Though,
No,
did you?
I don't watch any of the games,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
He threw a Hail Mary at the last second.
And he scored,
And
right?
he scored.
Yeah, and then
It
I'm
was
like,
crazy.
thank you
Yeah.
for getting that one touchdown and get you into double digits.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy Dalton. No thanks. I had to pick up Eli Manning because Tom Brady had a bye and he just got me like 7 points. I'm like,
Oh.
what the hell happened to you,
I
bro?
know. How does that happen?
Yeah.
You expect a quarterback to at least get in double digits and hopefully, usually in the 20s, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was going up against Drew Brees, who consistently puts up 20
Oh, yeah.
plus.
Oh, that
Like,
dude is.
he's a beast.
How's New Orleans doing? I don't even know.
They're doing well.
Yeah?
I don't know what the record is, though.
Okay.
But Drew Brees has a house in San Diego from when he used to play here. And he surfs Del Mar, what I hear, all the time.
Oh, no shit.
Like, obviously, during the offseason. And I know one day I'm going to run into
You're
that
going to see
guy.
him. You're
Yeah.
going to see him.
Him and Tom DeLonge.
No
Blink
shit.
182.
Oh, yeah,
they kind
yeah.
of surf the same area. That's what I heard. That's
They
what I
stick
hear out
together.
there on
They
the
stick
lineup.
together,
Yeah. Famous people break, bro.
Yeah.
Get
yeah.
out of here.
Oh, yeah, he does a golf tournament here, like Drew Brees does. Big charity event.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure he has that here every year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
Drew
makes
Brees
sense.
is a good dude, man.
Yeah.
I can't, it's like it's San Diego's. The Chargers' fate is always we get rid of a player, and that player goes on to bigger and better things, and that's exactly what Drew Brees did. He won a couple of Super Bowls. If you go
Yeah.
even further back, I mean, even with Junior Seau jumping ship and going
On the-
on the Patriots to get a
Yeah.
Super Bowl, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He was with the worst Charger team in
Oh, I know.
history, and he was one of the best fucking middle linebackers. And just like LT, one of I consider one of the top running backs in the NFL, you know, history, and you know,
Yeah.
a couple of West championships, but
Yeah.
didn't get to
Didn't-
that Super
didn't
Bowl,
get
and
the
I was
ring.
really hoping he would get there.
You know, and
Even with the Jets, I'm like, well, maybe the Jets were at that time were decent.
Yeah.
You know, they were a playoff team. So I'm like, oh, maybe.
and they're the ones that beat us every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking the other day, it's like, you know, everyone's striving for this ring. You know who got me thinking about it was Adrian Peterson because he's so good, but he's on the Vikings. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like he's
Phenomenal
a
player.
phenomenal player on a bad team.
Horrible team.
And, I'm thinking about like all these top-notch players just striving for that ring,
Yeah.
But then every year, there's like a new crop of drafts,
Yeah.
and then people picking up that will get drafted to the Super Bowl team, like their first year, their rookie season. It's like I don't know. It's just weird to think about. Like all these all-stars out there trying, or like
Right,
Cam
right.
Newton's a good example, or even Robert Griffin.
Yep. Yep.
And it's just like all these top players, and then some fucking backup rookie gets drafted to a Super Bowl
You could be
team.
third string and you still get a ring.
Yeah, and you get a
might
ring.
not even play.
Yeah.
One fucking
That's it.
down.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
Yeah.
roll around,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that a car dealership, get that fat ring, and make bank.
Yeah, this is so crazy.
Ah.
Probably making, obviously more money than I make, but
Yeah,
maybe not that much more.
those dudes still make 100K. I mean,
Yeah,
I
even
think
on the practice
there is a
squads.
cap. They make 130 or something for the lowest paid player.
Crazy.
Give that to me to play a game. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah. All right, I wanted to ask you, because
Okay.
I posted this up on Facebook a few weeks ago, and I forget exactly how I worded it, but when does money bring you happiness? I mean, is there a point where money leads to happiness? I don't know how I
Well,
worded
you
it,
could
but
come
if
at
that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah, you could come at it a few different ways.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk science and statistics, they say that if you make 75,000 a year, it's like an optimal amount.
Well, that's what a lot of people said, but I don't think that's not really what I was.
I
Going
think that's
for.
what I'm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
get
wasn't
what
what I
you're
was
saying,
thinking.
but I'm just coming at it from that route.
I can make 40 grand a year and be elated
Yeah.
because it would be a few thousand more than
So
I make
do
now. a
you?
year.
Okay, it's a good question. So do you mean that, like, what do you do with money? I'm sorry. Do you hear that?
I think
There's some birds mating or something out right in my ear.
yeah, I hear it's like a.
Yeah. Hello. That's too funny.
We are in a cabin, people.
Yeah, we're in a
We are
cabin.
in a cabin.
This is nature happening right
Yeah.
now. It's like a bird dying. Help me! I hear you in there.
Put me out of my misery.
I made love to her. She pecked my eyes out. Okay. That was so distracting.
We can close that.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up. Shut your bird beak. Oh yeah.
Schmucking bow. So, all right. So,
Full break.
Yeah. So back to.
Yeah, I think you're talking about, when you get like real joy out of the money you have, like when you're spending it, like what
Right,
you
yeah.
spend it on maybe, or
Yeah, because.
when does money make you? Yeah, it's so true because money. I mean, it's a burden on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, you have to have it.
Right.
It's like
to
it's-
do anything.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, the old days where you could barter or you're a hunter gatherer,
Right, yeah.
providing for the community, and somehow it's like you have to go out and make that dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's personal. Like, some people love to travel, so they probably get the most joy when they can set that money aside and be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I recently purchased a van,
Yeah.
and
Let's talk about that.
that made me really happy. We could talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you've been talking about for years and years and years, and you had what we call it, the Winnie Wagon.
The Winnie Wagon,
Winnie Wagon was
which was
badass.
like a failed purchase in my eyes, because
Yeah, I guess
it was.
You got some fun out of it, though, right?
a little bit, but
We
not
almost-
what I wanted.
Yeah, we almost died.
We almost died in it.
I was really high,
We-
and I was just like, whatever happens.
It was like, it was a little Winnebago, like an early sports Dodge Winnebago.
yeah,
and
what
the-
year was that? 83?
No, it was old. It was
Older.
a 75.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a classic Sportsman that I picked up, and then we went camping, and we went up to Palomar Mountain, and we were coming down this grade, and the brakes went out. And luckily, I mean, it wasn't like a steep grade; it was like a little grade. But
Yeah, we did get somewhat lucky. If the brakes were going to go out, I guess
yeah.
that would be ideal, as opposed to coming down from Julian and plowing
So
into the mountain.
it was like a tiny little, like, coming down into the campground, and I remember I took the turn, and I'm like, just press the brake, and nothing was happening, and then it was just instant panic, like, oh my god, and
then at that moment, I'm looking at Matt slamming on the brake,
brake.
almost like pumping it, trying to get it to work, and I'm pretty sure you said the brakes aren't working, and I'm like,
yeah,
kind of frozen. And then it almost, for me, it was kind of almost in slow motion.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was ready to just. There was a hillside on the right hand side. I was ready to just slam the car into the side of the hill, just to stop. And then, like, at the very last second, like I was about to do that, the brake started working.
Yep.
Turned out to be a brake fluid issue. Like, the brake fluid wasn't filling up in time. Yeah, crazy.
Very crazy.
Anyway,
Back to the good one. Back to the good van.
yeah.
So you eventually sold that.
So
You sold the Winnie wagon.
Yeah, I sold it
years ago,
Got rid
and
of
now
it.
we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Present time.
So I found. Okay, so I've always wanted a van.
Yes.
Because I think it's because growing up, my grandpa had a van.
Oh, yeah?
And it was so cool. And, like, we used to play in it. And as kids, like, when we lived with my grandpa when I was a kid, and he had this sweet ass van, and I've always been, like, a little obsessed with them, like the classic model.
So
Yeah,
did he
like,
have
if
something
I-
similar to what you have now?
He had like an old Dodge,
Okay,
but probably around
gotcha.
the same year.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, people have their cars, like fix up old like Mustangs and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They have
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like so much that goes into it, like a love and a passion for it. Well, I've always had that for vans. I don't know what it is. They're like the old classic ones, they're custom, and they got all this room inside, and you can camp in them and stuff like that. And I think that's where it all stemmed from.
Right.
I've always wanted one. I mean, I remember back in high school, I wanted to do one, or I wanted to have one. It was like my dream car. So this one I found on Craigslist, or I was searching for Craigslist for a while, and I bought it from a guy who did move to Africa, and he like traveled the country in it, and he lived in it with his fiance turned wife, and
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, rocking that van. So it was cool, like a really cool guy, surfer, and it's classic. It's like brown and orange, and it's totaled 70 to 79.
It's immaculate. When
yeah.
he sent me the Craigslist ad, the photos, and I fell in love with it. I'm like, holy shit, this is perfect. This
Yeah,
is like, and the price was amazing. You got
Yeah.
a sweet ass deal on it.
Yeah,
It's great.
thank you.
Yeah. Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, it's funny is I showed other people that ad even before I bought it, and people were like, "Wow, that's a fucking sick ass fan," and I'm like, "I know." It's got like this total immaculate interior.
Yeah, for the
that-
year, it is pristine.
Yeah, and it's total 70s, like shag carpet.
Oh yeah.
It looks great, and so I have it now, and I took it. It's got to get SMOD and registered in California. It's registered in Colorado, and
Where weed is legal, people.
where it's a great state, and the plan is to transition into it and start living it for a little while, and do some traveling.
The van life. I'm excited.
van life.
I'm gonna live through you
Yeah,
doing this van life, because that's also something I considered very much. I think it's when if you live with a roommate and they part ways, and you're like, well, what the fuck? I don't want to get another roommate.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking expensive here in San Diego. If you want to live on, find a 1-bedroom or a studio, that's even fucking expensive.
yeah,
So it's like, why not save some money, have a little adventure, and find a sick ass van and live in it.
yeah. My situation too is like I don't, the responsibilities I have right now, are to myself. I'm single. I don't have kids.
Right.
There's no better time to like take on some adventure and do some traveling. And I'll be honest with you, I go back and forth with it every day. I mean, I freak out a little bit and say, like, do I want to do this? Is this right? Isn't there something else I could be doing, spending my money on, and
Right,
things like
right.
that? But then when I stop and actually answer those questions, I'm like, no, not really. You know, right now
Exactly.
the apartment I'm at, it's pretty much empty because my roommate moved out, and you know, I'm sitting there. I've got my TV, my PlayStation, and an internet connection, and I'm bored. You know, I'm like, I'm looking around like, do I need this? Like, is this necessary for me to be happy or anything like that? And it's not.
And you know what's
It's
cool?
something I can give up easily.
Yeah, and you know what's cool about our generation? We've lived without the internet. We've lived without
That's true.
like the gajillion TV options out there. You know, we've lived without Wi-Fi before. It's an amazing thing. It would be hard for me to give it up, just because being a photographer, you kind of have to be a little connected to the internet just to promote myself and upload and download photos and all that shit. But
I know.
our generation, we can give this shit up. We can live without it.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be fun too. I mean, you're going to find a whole new array of fun things, especially here in San Diego. You're going to have like that no other perspective,
Exactly.
you know?
And lately, like, it's November, and the weather's been so nice lately.
It's crazy nice. I'm like, holy shit, this is like better than summer.
Yeah.
It's better than like June, July.
And on my day off the other day, like, I went down to the beach for a little bit with my mom, and we went and had lunch. But, you know, then I went and just sat back in my apartment, and it's like,
Do you hear that, ladies? He's going to lunch with his
I
mother.
took
He's
her
a
out and I
good
paid.
man. That's Matt Whitney on Facebook. Hit him up.
Just Matt
what's your
Whitney.
Twitter? What's your Twitter?
Pac Matt
PacMatt.
at Pac Matt.
At PacMac. And you can hit me up on Twitter at Sean Evans Photo. That's SeanEvans Photo.
Instagram Pac Matt a tat tat. If
I
you
like
can
that.
spell
I do like that. Yeah, yeah. And I'm the same on Instagram. Like me. I do a lot of cool photos, I think.
Double tap that ass.
I like
Double
that.
tap that sweet ass. Yeah. So, you know, it's been so nice out. It'll just be cool.
Oh, it'd
You
be
know.
awesome, dude.
Because paying rent sucks dick. I mean, who doesn't want to pay rent? I feel lazy sometimes saying like, well, I don't want to pay rent, but I don't. I've thrown that money away. I want to live a little bit.
That's literally what I
wanna live
feel
a
like
little bit.
every time I pay rent. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. But then it's like, yeah, I do get to live somewhere, but
I'm doing this the safe route too. I mean, I have a couple friends. They're married. They just got married, and they're going to hike the Pacific Crest Trail next year. And if you don't know what that is, it's a trail from the border of Mexico to the border of Canada. It's over 2,000 miles. It takes 6 months to complete. And, you know, they're giving up everything. They're quitting their jobs. They're, you know, getting out of their apartment. And they're literally going to be hiking 20 miles a day for 6 months. So, like, that is truly letting go. Like, at least with me, I'm still going to work. I'm still running my little business on the side. You know, not much is changing as far as that goes. But they inspire me, you know, like, okay, here's some people really going at it and giving up everything and for the love of what they do. And
so are they giving up their apartment as well, moving out? I mean, yeah, why pay rent on something you're not even going to
Yeah,
be there?
for 6 months.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they've
Man, dude, I
they're
didn't even think about
decluttering.
that. That's going to be completely a whole new adventure. Not only is it going to be an exciting 6 months, but then when you eventually come back, it's like a fresh new start. You can pick where you want to live.
Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, and they plan on moving up to Santa Cruz when they're done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We'll be able to visit them
I know.
because they're fucking awesome.
Exactly.
We'll have to. We will definitely have them on. Hopefully before they leave. When are they planning on?
April.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have them on.
Yeah, they
for
seem.
sure.
I've talked to them about it, and they seem a little apprehensive about the whole podcast thing. But I think we can just have them down, and they can just be observant, and then
Oh,
we
yeah.
can just ask them a couple questions. You know, have them ease into it a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Because I think it's good to put it out there. You know, really talk about what you're doing, and that solidifies it that much more. You know,
It's exciting. It gets other people excited about what they're doing, or not just them, but anything that people do. You know, once you talk about it, it throws it out there in the universe. It kind of makes it more real, I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
So what about you then? What's the big thing that you want to do, or have always wanted to do? You know,
But I'm not doing it.
But you're not doing it.
And that's a lot of photography projects that
Uh-huh.
I want to do. There's a big project that I want to do with all my friends, And yeah, I'm not going to give anything away, but basically, like, I'm trying to keep it as, because I want it to be a surprise almost.
Okay,
So what
okay.
I'm doing is I'm going to have 10 questions, 10 important questions from my point of view that I want to know from my friends. So I'm going to
Okay.
have my camera set up, and I'm going to almost be interviewing them, almost like in a podcast sense. That I'm not going to just like
Right.
rattle off
Rapid fire these
rapid
questions.
fire off a bunch of questions. And what I'm trying to do is basically capture these candid moments with my friends, as I ask them questions, as they answer them, maybe that moment where if it's something a little ridiculous, who knows what kind of face they might pop up, or, the banter, the different conversations we might get into.
Yeah.
And basically how I want to do it is I want to videotape it. I want to audio form as well, almost like a podcast type of deal.
Uh-huh.
Set that up, and then obviously the photos, and then eventually I want to actually have like a I don't know, like a showcase basically, and have like a gallery setting to where you have like different monitors and then you'll have like the pictures, and I almost want to set it up like the Brady Bunch almost. You'll have like the 10
Okay.
pictures of each question, that'll represent their
The response.
the response almost. Yeah, exactly. And then you'll have the different TV monitors, and then you could press a button, and then you could almost, I mean, this would be a lot of work, but this is what, if I could do it, I would do it. So you just have a little picture screen with each different person, then you could press it on, and then you could watch like a little quick clip of that, say, question 1. Then you could like watch like a 30-second little thing of their response, and just kind of see it like firsthand, or it might just do like a little audio to where you just press like question 3, and then you want to see their response, and you could look at the picture and kind of see where that popped up, or what we were talking about at that time, or just how they verbally responded to it,
Right.
because you catch so much with actually having a conversation. You have a text message conversation with someone, shit can get lost, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
what does this mean?
Yeah.
What are they trying to say
How are
here
they
exactly?
saying?
Yeah, how are they saying
Yeah.
this?
You're projecting your own interpretation. of it.
Exactly. So I want to make this a whole, visual, auditorial mashup into this photo project that I want to do with my friends, and then maybe even lead into a book or something. I don't even know if people buy photography books anymore, or where technology is going nowadays. I don't know, but I just think it would be a cool thing, and then it might just be a cool thing just between the 20 people that I get together and do these photos with.
Yeah.
But it'll still be fun, and I would hope other people would appreciate it. And I plan on doing like a whole little blog series or something like that, or I don't know. But this is all something that I've got working in my mind that I want to do. Like, I've got the equipment and everything. Now I've narrowed it down to like 9 questions that I definitely going to ask. And now I'm like, it's that 10th one that I just need to put down in stone, make it concrete. This is going to be my list, because I want to ask, everyone the same 10 questions.
Right.
I want to keep it as uniformed as possible.
Right.
I might even start like going into my family, my mom, and if I ever see my grandparents or dad or whatever like that, I'll ask them, and, because some of the questions are going to be serious, and obviously I don't want them all to be serious, so I'm going to mix it up, have some funny
Right.
ones, have some outrageous, bizarre things that I just want to know. It's like not going to be a normal question someone's probably going to ask you.
So where do you think it came from, though? The idea.
The idea.
Just a curiosity, like a little itch to scratch, something like that. I
Well,
mean,
you know
do
what? I really had at a point in my life where I had to realize, or I had to think about what was really important to me in life. And when I think about it, it's my friends and my family, and it's like, and then photography is a close right in there. Like, I
Right.
really do love photography, and I have a passion for it. Not unfortunate, but sometimes I get a little, because it's now a business. It's now me. It's
Right.
weird in a way now.
Right.
And it's not fun sometimes. It's
right.
like really working.
It's work.
It's like a real
Yeah,
job.
Definitely. Yeah.
But then, once you're done with it, like, fuck yeah, that now feels good. Now it's over. I did a good job. And, but yeah, I think just I just like my friends.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And sometimes you don't get to sit down with your friends in a deep conversation. Sometimes, you know, certain friends, and I'm trying to go. I got my close friends, and I got my outer friends, and then
Yeah.
you know,
It sounds like
acquaintances.
it's, for full effect, it's going to be like a very vulnerable experience. Not just for you,
Oh
but
yeah,
for them.
and that's why that's what I'm most worried about is people being comfortable and just. I don't want them to over exaggerate their expressions. I just want them
Right.
to be themselves. That's
Right.
all I want. Because candid, I mean, back in the day, Matt had a shit ton of parties all the time in his house, and I would always bring my little point and shoot camera and take 100 pictures, just random ass shots, people posing, and then mostly just candid shots. And
Yeah.
I love those photos. Those are the best ones. I mean, it shows pure joy. It shows it shows sadness. It shows everything.
Right.
All in one split second.
Right.
And I
th-
love that.
I think like I think like I'm on the same page with you here, but it sounds like for people to be vulnerable, it's like you are gonna have to give that up in yourself
Exactly.
to really
And that's
move
why-
it forward, because
yeah.
it's gonna be. I mean, maybe I'll be one of those people,
Mhm.
But I mean, if I'm imagining myself kind of with this, yeah, at first, I mean, it's different because I know you and I know what you're doing, But I think for like someone else, it would be a little overwhelming at first. But I think that it's very possible to like engage someone in a conversation where they just kind of forget about.
That is
outside
yeah
of what's
that
happening.
well, and obviously that's something that is going through my mind as well, is how to make, because everyone's different, how to make each individual person as comfortable as possible, you
Right.
know. And if I have a friend that just sits there and I don't get that many reactions, then those will be
Exactly.
the photos. And
Well, that's-
I think that will be exciting as well. I mean, everyone's different. It's
I
like,
think
I don't
it's
need
still
someone
them.
like with a big crazy smile, and I don't need someone like with a weird frowny face.
Yeah.
I just want a good candid reaction. And if that's going to be the reaction at that time for me asking whatever question it might be, then so be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean that's
I
what I'm
think
really
it's
excited
about creating a comfortable space.
Yeah, it's about creating
it's
it,
not like-
definitely.
Yeah.
And it might be intimidating because I've got a little backdrop area. I've got nice lighting and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've got and then also the banter. I'm going to try to make it as comfortable and as free.
I don't think you
balling
should
as possible.
worry about making them comfortable as much as you should concentrate on creating a comfortable space.
Right.
You know what I mean? That you are comfortable in.
Right.
Because once they see that you're comfortable and relaxed, like
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. There's
Right.
a camera here and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like okay,
Yeah.
ease into it a little more.
Yeah.
I can understand though. I can completely understand, and I'm totally there to help too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I
but like
appreciate
it's
it.
something we could check in on here. when
Oh,
we
for
do
sure.
podcasts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is going to be something that I'm going to be working on for a while, but it will eventually start to fruition and start to
Yeah.
come about.
So you
and-
do have the questions then.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I
ready
got
to
'em
go.
right over here.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to imagine like a first step into getting that done,
Right.
obviously it's the
Well,
questions.
yeah, obviously I started with, 20, 30 some odd questions that I kind of random ones, and then just you got to whittle it down to what I really want to know, and then I was changing up the format, kind of when to ask which question where, that type of deal, you know.
Yeah.
So now it's just about organizing and getting things the way that I creatively want it to be done, you know.
I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and then obviously I've got other stuff. I've got this cookbook that I want to do for more of the person that's maybe a little intimidated by cooking, to kind of demystify it, because it's really easy once you get some basic knowledge of cooking and look up some decent. I mean, you just got to follow the recipe. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And then you got to practice. I mean, you're not going to cook a perfect steak your first time around, but keep doing it. You get a decent one going. And yeah, so it's going to be maybe more geared towards like a college guy or something like
Yeah.
that, because I want to
It's
incorporate
easy.
like hot chicks and things like that with food.
Yeah.
So make it kind of an interesting little book or like an online thing to where guys can just access it on their iPhone or on their phone or whatever, and easily
Yeah.
cook up their chick a good meal or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I also got that in the works. That's also a lot of work, and I don't know. I get these like little projects. Like I work on it here and there, and then I lose steam, and then I move on to this other project. So it's like I just gotta.
You got to create that network.
I know. Yeah.
Support.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, you got to get it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard, you know.
Oh, very
It's
hard. Yeah.
It's makes you vulnerable.
Yeah. It
You're
does.
like, oh.
Yeah,
and
it
then
does.
it's not that it makes you vulnerable. It's that it makes you accountable. It holds you
Yeah.
accountable for it.
Right.
And
Right.
then you're like, hey, I got to push through it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's hard for everybody,
Yeah.
and for any project
Yeah.
that you're taking on, even the podcast.
Oh.
I mean, I wasn't going
fuck
to
yeah.
sit there and do it by myself.
Right.
So were you?
Yeah. Yeah. That wouldn't be any fun.
Some people do it.
Oh yeah. Some people are great at just talking.
Yeah.
You can talk about
I'm
whatever
like,
by
yeah,
themselves.
I'm good at talking to myself.
Oh yeah,
in my head.
I'm so articulate and amazing in my head, and then I start talking and don't quite come out.
And they thinking. I wonder if I could. I wonder if I can play with. I can't play with the
Voice changers.
the
or
voice
anything?
changing while we're recording. I'm gonna pause it real quick.
Okay. 51.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What is this echo coming through? Oh, it is.
Is it?
Chickadee check 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 check
Oh
check.
yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out. Lots of things to figure out.
Oh yeah. This podcast is it's in its infancy.
Infancy,
right now.
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. It's going good.
Yeah, it
I
is.
like it.
Yeah, me too.
It's super comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Hey, well, before we go.
Okay.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, throw something out there.
We recently, Matt and I and our buddy Wayne, we went to the Newfound Glory show
Yeah.
and Alkaline Trio at
Yeah.
Soma. It'd been a long ass time since it's been to Soma.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long had it been for you?
To being at Soma.
Being at
I
Soma.
actually went a couple months ago. But
Oh, that's yeah. What did you see?
I saw Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
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 This tour called the All Stars Tour. But I just went and saw Every Time I Die because they
Oh,
played
okay.
last and they were
Yeah.
headlining. But before that,
Yeah.
years.
Wow. Yeah.
Years and years.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Maybe Yellow Card I saw
Well,
there.
there was a time in your life, right? Every weekend.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Every weekend. Me too.
Yeah.
Always there.
Since high school.
Side stage, main stage,
Yeah.
didn't matter.
I went to a ton of shows in high school and then after high school. And then not so much for a while. But this year, I've been to so many shows. It's awesome. It's been
Yeah.
really cool. I just got way back into it. Got way
I-
back into music in general.
I love live music.
Yeah.
I love it. And I was just thinking, like, as an introvert, I've been to a lot of fucking live venues, like a
Yeah.
lot of fucking shows,
Yeah.
and I love it. Especially, like back in the day, some of those Soma shows were intense. It's almost tribal. Like if you really get in the mix of shit, like and you're down there moshing, or you're like packed together like sardines, and you're just moving with the crowd,
Yeah.
and you have no control, and you're like on one foot, and you're like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people are crowd surfing above you, and you're trying to not get kicked in the face or something. It's
Yeah.
insane.
It is insane, and I think tribal is a good word to put it.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, especially when you're there, you're passionate, you know the words.
Everyone's singing along.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the beats. Everyone's throwing their hand up at the same time.
Yeah,
Ah.
a religious experience.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Cathartic.
Cathartic.
You're
for
letting it
sure.
out. I mean,
Yep.
how many times have you like sung in your car to these songs, and then all of a sudden you're right there in front of them, yelling back at them.
Yeah.
You know. I have tickets to see Every Time I Die again
Oh,
in
yeah.
December. and
Nice. Where they playing?
They're playing at the Che Cafe at UCSD, which
That's a
is
small
tiny
venue,
venue.
dude. That's gonna be intense.
exactly.
Is it
It's
sold out? Like-
Sold out. Sold out show.
Ooh-wee.
It's
Is it just them?
Oh. okay. We're back.
Is it just them or
No, there's like this band Let Live, which there's a huge buzz around them, and mostly their live show because it's so intense. And this other band called Code Orange Kids, equally as like intense live. So it's these three
Nice.
really intense live bands. I've seen Every Time I Die. This would be the fourth time I've seen them.
Nice.
second time I've seen them headline, and they fucking bring the music. They play a heavier, like metal / southern rock mix of music, and with breakdowns and yelling and screaming, and they're just super talented, and I can't fucking wait.
Nice.
It's gonna be intense.
When are you seeing him again? December?
In December.
Nice. Yeah.
Like the first week of December, so it's coming up. It's less than a month away.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be seeing Macklemore in San Fran.
That's right. See, that's cool because that's like an entirely different concert experience that I've used to
Whole
going.
different city.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a theater. I'm assuming it's going to be like one of those old school theaters, immaculate wood carvings and whatnot. So I'm really, really excited. And Macklemore, that's like going to be a show that I've never been to before, more of a hip hop type of show.
Right, exactly.
Which I'm curious what the vibe's going to be like.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a bunch of hipster kids, from San Francisco there. It's still going to be fucking kick-ass,
I think
though.
it'll be a good mix.
Oh, yeah?
I think it'll be
Yeah.
older and younger crowd.
Good,
'cause
yeah, I hope so.
He's got that song, Thrift Shop, which is
Yeah, yeah.
huge. And
Have you listened to any of his other stuff? Because
No.
it's phenomenal. Thrift Shop is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean,
Yeah.
most of his other stuff is like real deep. Like, he really let it out on this album. Really
Okay.
good, yeah.
Wow,
Really good.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you'll have like a really good mix of people and exciting and like live hip hop. That's something I've never experienced
Yep.
at all. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to check in after that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to do a mobile podcast too. Like I'll figure out some way.
Yeah,
to do
we'll
it.
have to figure that out.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Even if it'd be cool to get like a little generator. Or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
'cause then we
yeah.
could just. Like,
Oh, yeah,
run
we'll
it.
definitely do a van cast when Matt's
Yeah.
like decked out and is ready to go. We'll do a couple
Yeah.
casts out of the van.
Because I plan on taking like if I have a couple days off in a row,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna like rent a spot at like a state beach.
Yeah,
and
that's
just invite
perfect
my
idea.
friends down and
Perfect.
We'll party. And
Yeah. Get some campwood and firewood. Campwood. Firewood.
Campwood is what I'll have when I wake up.
Yeah, yeah. Pitch that tent.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This was a good number two. I'm
Good number-
excited.
Nothing like a great number two.
Nothing like a great number two, everybody. A good
Yeah.
one. Good shape. And all around awesome.
Consistency.
Yeah,
Feel good when it's
consistency.
done.
Yeah,
Take a nap.
yeah. You
after.
feel refreshed, a little lighter. Feels good. Yeah.
Sean really needs a good number two. With all this cleanse he's done. Shit and lemon juice.
I know. Very
Shit and
acidic.
cayenne pepper.
Oh. That ain't fun. Mm-mm.
All right, well, yeah, this is Cabin Fever, number 002.
Yep.
Signing off.
Signing off. Adios.
All right, till next time.
Well, it's wonderful to have an electrician in the house to keep us up on the latest scientific advancements. Let's see how your little gadget works.